Hello. Good evening. Actually, it's still the morning. It's still morning. I'm way off. I skipped the afternoon and everything. Hi, ladies. Hi, whoever. Hi, gentlemen. Hi, ladies. Hi, everyone. Just get comfortable here for a second. And y'all hit the like button as you come in. Say hello. So, we're going to be talking today about dear emotional people. No one cares. Why does no one care? Because they just don't. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm a spiritual empath and I pick up on everyone's emotions and I'm always flooded with feelings and A, B, C, and D. And how can I master that? And how can I do this? And how come, people are so bad and how come people mistreat people? I think the wake up call is really understanding that the world is not fair and no one cares about your emotions. And I think once we realize this as like spiritual people, that we become stronger and start taking full responsibility for everything in our lives. And then we start to see mass improvements because nobody cares. And I think emotions are for your personal use. I think emotions are an indicator of something that you need to address inside. I don't think they're for other people to, I don't think they're for other people. I think they're for you only. And I think when we try to push those emotions on other people and get them to care or pull them in with them or get them to feel what you feel, that's kind of selfish. Because if they don't feel those emotions, why should you make them? If they can't empathize with you in a natural way, then they don't want to. Okay? And it's because that's not their concern, or maybe you need to fix whatever issues yourself. A lot of people use emotions to victimize themselves or to make an excuse for as to why they have not accomplished certain things in life. And this is where a lot of people mess up and fall behind in life, and they get wrapped up in their emotions and fall victim to making excuses. But no one cares. They'll just look at you and like, oh, well, they're weak. Bye. Next. And you have a lot of people that are, just waking up spiritually and they don't understand a lot of these things and they're very emotional. The best thing you can do is learn to control emotion. And I always say this, but a lot of people don't realize that when you control your own emotions, no one else can control you. Thank you, OL Sprinkle. Appreciate that. When you are easily triggered, everyone else can control you if they know your triggers, or they'll figure them out eventually. So controlling emotions is a high discipline. And you'll notice people that are able to control their emotions and are much more calm, usually are much more prosperous in life because they're able to think and process things before reacting. And, they're not easily triggered. So we have to learn to understand that people don't care. It should be you that cares about how you feel and then address those feelings and solve them from within. Because nobody cares. They may pretend to care to take advantage of you in some type of way. Or if they truly love you and if they're like a family member and they're empathizing with you, of course, those people may give you a little time and advice. But in the real world, if you're talking to people about woe is me, you're basically draining their energy and giving them negative, perspective of you. So I think this is why people go to therapists and psychologists and whoever, and to talk counselors, because they get paid to pretend to care. Okay? Or they get paid to help you sort through your emotions and issues. But everybody is not your counselor. Everybody is not your psychologist. Your husband is not your counselor. Your wife is not your counselor. Your girlfriend is not your counselor. Your best friend is not your counselor. And when people realize this, their relationships will also improve, because I think so many people put so much emphasis on one person, like their significant other, to be everything to that, to everything to them. So most women won't find a man, or most men can't find a decent woman, or most women can't find a decent man because they're looking for an everything. They're looking for a counselor, a supermodel, a millionaire, a best friend. They're looking for like the ultimate being. But the fact is that, we have friends, we have sisters, we have mothers, we have paid professionals that can do certain things that you should not require your significant other to do. And so many people just wake up thinking that you're supposed to be somebody's everything. No, you're never supposed to be someone's everything. You're never supposed to think that people value your emotions over, whatever they're doing at the moment, unless they're like your mother or somebody very close to you that will have to deal with you if they don't help you. But in the real world, it's not fair. No one cares how emotional you are about something. It's how you react to those things and how you solve those things that gets you to the next level, and spiritually as well. It's like spiritual people, they don't realize that you can't just be spiritual. You also have to be mentally able to do stuff. You also have to be able to think clearly. And if you're clouded with emotional extra baggage and victimization, you're not going to ascend spiritually as high as you could. So you have to get all that stuff out the way. Y'all like my thumbnail? Was it clickbait? I'm like, the thumbnail doesn't match the content. Wait. How do you deal with an emotional 8-year-old son? You mean he's mad or just crying all the time? It's like anger. Happiness is also an emotion, but we don't realize this. When you're happy or glad or feeling like positive, when you're excited or something, that's an emotion too, but people don't recognize those things as emotions. They only recognize the negative emotions, So just like people don't care if you're happy, when you're walking around smiling and cheesing at everybody and singing a song in your head, no one cares either. But I'll tell you one thing, they're more attracted to you when you're happy, when your emotions are positive rather than negative. It doesn't mean they care, but it does lure people in faster, and it does give people a certain frequency about you. But when you're in negative state of emotion, it's draining. So it's almost like repelling them. So as for an 8-year-old boy, you need to see if he's mad or sad. Like when you say emotional, I don't like, there's so many emotions. Do you let him express himself? Does he have plenty of options in his life? Can he choose what he wants to do, or is he told what to do? Is he given free will? Some people's parenting is not what it should be, and I'm not saying that you're a bad parent. I'm just saying kids are people too, and they need plenty options. That way they feel like they always have options in life. So try just giving them more options, more choices. He wants to control. Well, let him control something. Give him something to be controlled over. He's a man. Give him some control over something. It can be fake control, but as long as he feels like it's real control, that's good enough. You know, that's what I do. Like, let him feel like he could control something. Because when he grows up, he feels like he needs to be able to control something and he can't. He's just going to be feeling weak for the rest of his life. And he's not even going to attempt to try to control anything. So let him control something. Give him something to control. Give him some responsibility to control. He's 8 years old. I don't know. Play a game. Like, okay, today, mommy will do whatever you want her to do as long as it's legal and don't cost too much. Now, play games. They like to feel like they have some type of control. You know how they have those YouTube videos? Pick my outfit for the day, pick my makeup for the day, pick where we go for the day. I'm going to let my subscribers order my food today. Let him have some type of control as long as it's not detrimental or harmful. All right? Because you can't take people's free will and ability to control away, because that's mentally squashing them. Mm-hmm. So, don't raise your kids like they're animals. Raise them like people. Give them free will. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he'll be less emotional because, emotion is just an indicator of, inner pain or inner happiness, inner joy or inner pain, inner pleasure or inner pain. And if he's in pain because he can't control something, how would you feel if you couldn't control anything? I mean, kids are still people. Don't give them too much control, because if they don't have the knowledge and the wisdom to know how to, do things, you must guide them first. So if you're going to give someone control, you also need to give them guidance. Damn. I don't know why. Sometimes I just pop on and might not get notifications super quick. Or I don't know. But thank you. My parents were idiots, straight up. I'm grateful that they were there for my physical being, but Maslow tells us that only goes so far. Right. Well, I don't think parenting comes with a manual. It's just, based on your own spiritual and mental beliefs, as well as, your mentality is how you're going to raise your kids. So, what about abusive mothers who try is keyword, baby. Try to kill your confidence. They can try all they want. Confidence doesn't come from your mother, so she can't take it either. It comes from within. I think you have to become mentally strong and decide that no one can take something from you that they did not give you. It's self-confidence, not mother confidence, but self-confidence. You gotta learn to love yourself. There are people in this world who don't have anybody that loves them, not even parents, but they got to figure out how to love themselves. Y'all are laughing at my thumbnail. I'm sorry. You often wasn't heard when I was a child, and then in college you ended up telling too much of my business and got to feel seen and heard. Now I can't take it back. That's right. Just let them kids talk. They have to express themselves. True. This is you have found that you like flipping RVs and make a good turnaround, but it makes my husband feel jealous. I think I enjoy that I am doing it, and I am out of the way investing in myself. What overdoing it? What? You said your husband is jealous that you flip RVs? And you like what you do? Usually people are jealous of things because they want to be doing something that they like to. They want to have what you have, but they don't. Instead of trying to figure out how to get it, they just be mad at you. So, I mean, it is what it is. People don't really hate you. They just hate that they can't do what you're doing. And that instead of asking for advice or learning, they just be mad. Because either A, they don't have what it takes to do what you do, or they don't have the discipline to do what you do. So maybe start teaching them how to do whatever he likes to do, or tell him maybe he should start looking into whatever he likes to do and see what he could do. It's not that hard once you start. So y'all have to keep in mind that emotions can ruin you as well. It can give you a bad reputation. It can make people not want to work with you or take you seriously. So you're going to have to be really concerned about how you react to certain things, because that will follow you forever. Just like, people try to go get a job and they ask for references. And if they call up your old employer and your old employer says they got a bad temper, watch them. Don't make them mad. They will cuss out your customers. They will, not show up for work. So your reputation, as far as how you emotionally respond, will follow you into your career, your parenting, your relationships, your spirituality, everything. Even as far as the media is concerned, it affects how you even perceive life in general. Not being able to control your emotions affects how you perceive life in general. So that's why it's so important to step back and assess and think. Also using the law of cause and effect, or the law of correspondence, and just having a moment to think about things before reacting to them out of emotion. But I do say pay attention to the emotion, but also try to think about why you feel this way and then solve it. Don't act on it, think on it. I think this is a lot of people's issue as to, a lot of people say there's something blocking me. I have a block. Most of the time it's your emotions and how you deal with them. Most people's blocks are their emotions. And, fear is also an emotion too. So a lot of people don't realize, but fear is also an emotion. If you fear something, why? Why do I fear this? Go and do your research on it. Learn as much as you can about it so that there's less and less and less fear on whatever it is that you're fearing. Some people fear simple things that makes no sense. Like some people fear success. Some people fear, becoming more spiritually awakened. Some people, fear, the worst of things. So you have to make sure you're asking yourself why you fear this and then solve that. Not just keep going on the fear. The fear is like an alert. The fear is like an alarm. You don't drive your car while the alarm is still on. You don't go in your house and let the alarm stay on. Okay. You got to do what you got to do. How did I teach dealing anger to your kids? By being real with them. I said most of the people in prison can't deal with their emotions properly. That's why they're there. Instead of thinking, they just reacted. You know, the smart criminals hardly ever get caught because they plan stuff out. And when they act upon whatever crime they're getting ready to do, it's not out of emotion, it's out of logic. Okay. But you have world's dumbest criminals doing crazy emotional things on video. That's how you know you're not in your right mind. So I just tell my kids, being angry and acting on anger means that you can't think. And that person who made you angry controls you. I just tell them that they're being controlled. And I'd say the best way to control other people is to not react or be triggered, but to sit and figure out a better way to get what you want or to teach them the lesson that they need to learn. Strategy. Because some people know your triggers and they do it on purpose to get a reaction out of you. And when they can't get the reaction out of you anymore, they stop. So I teach them strategy. I don't talk to them like some little, pits. I talk to them like they're intelligent beings. And kids are, because they're highly absorbent for knowledge at a young age. And so whatever you're teaching them before the age of 7, it's going to stick. Okay, so don't try to teach them simple things. Teach them, profound things. I do. Don't talk to kids like kids anymore. Most of them are wiser than adults until adults dumb them down by treating them like pets. Okay. Okay, so what do I do after I've inappropriately acted out of emotion? Try not to repeat it. Imagine if you hadn't acted out of emotion, where would you be right now? And do the same thing in the future when you start to react. See, where is this path going to lead me if I act out emotionally? Then you won't do it. Okay. Remember to always think twice. Do think twice. That means think about if you do it and if you don't do it. Which result is better? Then you won't do it, right? Y'all know those scenes in a movie where it looks like someone did something crazy and then it kind of like rewinds and they're just sitting there and imagining it, so they don't do it because it turned out really bad. Like you'll see somebody like start murdering and beating somebody in the head, like beating their boss in the head, and you'll think the movie just went left and there was like some type of weird plot twist, but then it'll go back to like his imagination and the boss will still be talking with unharmed. That's what you got to do. You got to, if I beat this boss in the head right now, it'll show you getting arrested and thrown in jail. So you just have to kind of see some foresight as to if you overreact, what's going to happen. Are we supposed to be emotionless? No, I didn't say emotionless. I said control. There's a difference. You know how you can control your pee? You're just not walking around peeing everywhere because you can control it. The same way. Control. Yeah, if you're emotional, you can't be strategic. That's right. And strategic is like chess. You can't play chess if you're emotional. That's checkers, baby. You're playing checkers over there. Emotional people play checkers. Strategic people play chess. What happens? What, she will make an album of MJ covers. No, I'll have to pay for them covers. When I was a kid, anytime I got upset, I always run off to draw, make stories, because that was the only way for me to figure out how to handle. So lucky I retained that habit. That's a good idea. Yeetus. Yep. I wrote poetry or something like that. Or sang, like find a good song. Mm-hmm. And just like la 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 la, whatever, expressing yourself. Thank you, Medina. Sprinkle, sprinkle. She said Trump played chess. The people get emotional. That's true. You're absolutely right, Shira. I just making videos not too long ago. I'm working on the kinks. I'm gonna get there. That's cool. Channel something beneficial. That's true. And this is how you can make money off of your emotions. Whenever you start to want to react emotionally, instead of doing that, figure out how you can get paid. Like, if I overreact, things are not going to go well. But if I do this, I might could just make a little profit. Okay. Or I might just be able to help myself. Or I might just be able to do something that I really want to do instead of overreacting for about emotions or something that's going to be over in 10 to 15 minutes. You said you got emotional and reached through text at work, sent it to my manager by accident. I was fired. Mm-hmm. See? Don't do that. And so many people walk around thinking they're, in control, they're bad, they're hard, they're, tough. But as soon as somebody says something that triggers them, that's the weak link. That's like having a remote control to somebody. If they figure out the right combination of triggers, they can pretty much get you to do whatever they want you to do. So just remember that. People control you if you're emotional. People you don't even know. People on the TV. People you will never meet control you because of a lot of people's inability to control their emotions. Maybe they're mad, making videos, talking trash about somebody they don't even know, how they made them feel, commenting all in the comments, trolling on people. That's your problem. That ain't mine. That's their problem. It has nothing to do with the other person. So, but people want to put the blame on other people when they feel a certain type of way. That's not that person's fault. That's your fault for not controlling it. Because even when people tell you something, it's still a choice whether to accept it or not accept it. You still have that opportunity right then and there. So someone comes on here and say, "Oh, you're stupid. You're full of it." I don't believe that. So therefore, I don't get emotional over it. It's like, oh, well, your mama. Bye. Or you obviously like stupid. You're going to click the video and watch it. So either way, it's like, if you don't accept it, then it shouldn't affect you. When you start accepting it, some people don't even know they have a choice. we've been brainwashed so much in society, we don't even realize that we have a choice to reject something. Okay? I think in the Bible, they say, I rebuke that. I rebuke that. That means I know you lying. So when someone tells you something about yourself, it's up to you to accept it or not. I don't think so. I know I'm this and that. You know, what can they do? How can they convince you that you're not this and that? They have no power anymore. You took away that power. They can't trigger you anymore because you don't accept what they're saying. It's like you put them on mute or block. You just block them, literally, because you're not accepting whatever they're trying to send you. You know, people always ask me, how do you stop people from sending negative vibrations your way, or the evil eye or negative energy? Don't accept it. Same way, how do you stop somebody from sending you mail? Well, if you say return to sender, you'll never get the mail. Okay, it's like, oh, I don't need that. Just take that right on back. Hopefully they didn't waste too much on their shipping. So you don't have to open the package. You see who it's from. Oh, this from that person that hates me. What did they send me today? Oh my God, this is a terrible thing. Well, let me go put it on my shelf. And every time you look at it, you're gonna be mad. That's just like accepting someone's criticism or something negative about yourself and sitting it on your shelf in your mental. And every time you look at it, you get triggered. Or every time you think back on it, you get triggered. That's why so many people say, I got low self-esteem because somebody did this to me or somebody. Well, you sat there and you put it on the shelf and you look at it. And every time, you mess up on something or you can't accomplish something, you look on that shelf. That's why I can't accomplish it. Well, take it out and throw it in the trash. Return to sender. Don't accept stuff from people anymore that you don't want to receive stuff from. That could be anyone in your family. That could be someone you don't even know online. It could be anybody. It can even be me. Okay, what I say is not being forced upon you. It's your choice to listen to what I got to say or what I don't have to say. Put what you like on the shelf, throw the rest away, whatever. Take what you can use and put it on that shelf. Take what matches your decor and put it on that shelf, okay? You think you have nice decor, well, then put the nice stuff up there. Throw the other stuff in the trash or re-gift it. Your mama to their mom, okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Re-gift it to their mothers. Since they want to give it out so generously, share some. Due to Corona, coworkers think they can get on your nerves during home office. I would be like a hermit, y'all. I would be like the hermit. I won't even bother with people if they get on my nerves. How do you get it together when you feel like you're falling apart? Let me ask you a question, because I like to give logic, because people, when you ask a question, it's easy to relate it to something logical. When you wake up in the morning out of your bed, how do you get yourself together? Do you just go to work looking crazy? Do you just go out looking just like you woke up? I hope not. How do you get yourself together in the morning time? Brush them teeth, wash that face, take that shower, put that deodorant on, one step at a time. And start early. If you're falling apart, ask yourself, why am I falling apart? What is really bothering me? Is it because I don't have control over a certain situation and it has control over me? Well, how can I get the control? Start plotting and scheming. Bet you'll get it together then. Be like, make your master plan. You know, you don't have to fix yourself in 2 seconds. Take your time, scheme, strategize. It's a chess move. Thank you, Percy. Sprinkle, sprinkle, Shira. I'm beginning to see your channel as a mindset psychology channel. It helps me. Thank you, Percy. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm glad it helps. You know, they say all is mind. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. People that are falling apart are usually too focused on the toxicity of it all. Right. That's also true. Thank you, the goddess. So many people focus on only the negative things instead of seeing everything that they're, should be grateful for. Some people got kids and a family and, they only focus on the kid negative behavior. They only focus on the family's negative behavior instead of looking at all the positive stuff that totally outweigh and outnumber the negative. Like, oh, my kid was bad today at school in one class, but they good every other day. Shoot. Oh, my mom or my dad or my sister or my cousin was being mean to me today and making me feel bad with low self-esteem. Do they do that every day? So sometimes we have to look at the positive. Like, you got to round up, and then you won't feel so overwhelmed or falling apart. It happens a lot, like in finances as well. Like, let's say you have a lot of money, but you lose some money. Some people are so focused on the little amount that they've lost that they don't realize they probably made it back in interest or some other type of way already because they have a constant flow of income. But if you stay focused on the negative aspect of losing, you're going to start losing more because you're not in that frequency of gaining. You become in the frequency of losing. And I said this before, like when I talk about manifestation, some people say you have to use emotions to manifest. And but to me, emotions are temporary, so, and I take it a step further. Instead of using emotions to manifest, I would basically use logic. I use the science, the understanding of how the law of vibration works, the law of, attraction and frequency works, scientifically checks out. So I don't need to use emotion. Science proves it. There you go. Science proves that when you put out something, it's a signal and it bounces back and reflects and comes back to you as far as a frequency is concerned. So a lot of people talk about karma. Well, cause and effect is the same thing as sending out energy. So if you're sending out negative energy, I'm poor, I'm losing money, when it hits that dark matter in the universe, and that dark matter starts sending you back the echo, that frequency, and your body starts absorbing that frequency and programming that DNA to start losing money, then guess what? You're going to start losing money. If you send out that that temporary feeling of I'm less than this, I have low self-confidence, guess what's going to come back? You're going to program the universe is going to program you, not your mama no more, not yourself, but the universe starts to program your DNA with low self-confidence. Okay, so that's why you got to be careful of your emotions. That's why I'm depressed. That's what the universe is going to send you, depression. An echo of depression. So whatever you want, say that. Don't speak when you're in a temporary state. Change it. Okay, don't, because emotions are going to get you in trouble. Oh, I'm cursed. I'm generationally cursed. I got the evil eye. Everybody's after me. No, you after yourself. Period. And now the universe is. Okay, we are our own worst enemies. That's why people don't like when emotional people come around, because they're trying to, drain the other person and put them in a bad mood. And I think once we learn to control these emotions, you'll see so much change for the positive in your life. It's like a switch went on. I promise you, the day that I decided to start controlling my emotions was like a switch going on. And everything changed for the better, just in that one instant, when I started to do that over and over and over. Okay? It has to become a habit. You can't be, okay, well, I'm going to control my emotions. And then 2 seconds later, you're out of control again. You have to do it. It has to become a habit. You got to become a habit. And that's why I was telling you guys, like, so many people are emotionally triggered by words. That's why words are like spells, because people can control you with their words. You are under a spell when you act emotional with no logic. That's a spell. And how do you, let's just break it down. What type of spell would you use on someone to control them? You know how people say, I want revenge, or I need to have control of people so they don't do something I don't want them to do. So I need to figure out how to control this person. And then they try to get all these spells and stuff like that. You don't need no spell. You just need to trigger them, period. Like Donald Trump. How you going to have the whole nation under a spell? Or not the whole nation, but a lot of the nation under the spell. Under a spell. Just by one sentence. Just by a news snippet. All he got to get up there and do is talk, and y'all are under the control. So, words are powerful in their spells, because to the unknowing, to the undisciplined or unlearned, not saying like not educational, but like, spiritual and mental, even psychological, people don't understand that they're supposed to control their emotions. They might feel like they should, but they don't know that it's how you master yourself. And so they're easily controlled. They're easily triggered, and they're easily spelled. Thank you, Meredith. Lucky Star, Sprinkle, Sprinkle. Thank you, girl. So you don't have to know magic to do spells on people. You just have to know their trigger. Okay. Oh, I have this person under a spell to where every time I say these magic words, they start overreacting and acting a fool and messing up and being angry, and people just look at them strange. And this one girl got fired, and because what kind of spell was that? I just triggered her. What triggers her? Oh, if you start talking about politics, talk about Donald Trump, that triggers her a lot. Then record her and then send it to the boss. That's how you get your coworker terminated. So you don't have to do no magic. You got to have logic, because it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. It's the same thing. Just trigger somebody, record them. There you go. Control. You can make bets with people. I bet I can get this lady to get mad in 5 seconds. Watch. How do I deal with emotions that block me, like fear? I'm working on my bachelor's thesis, but I'm afraid of writing it wrong. Therefore, I feel that the process is moving slowly. Well, fear is just like, fear is the opposite of, I don't want to say it's the opposite. Whenever you fear something, it means you need to get more knowledge on it. So you better double, triple check if you're writing it correctly. Just go do some research and look at other theses or whatever, and make sure you're doing it correct. Then the fear will go once you are 100% sure that you're doing it correct, you know. I mean, that's like baking a cake. If you don't know how to bake a cake, you know, you have to look at a recipe. You might fear that you're doing it wrong. And so what's the answer? Go get the recipe. Fear gone. See? You don't fear messing it up. Now you sitting over there, you know, mixing up the little batter and twerking, and hopefully not twerking. Mixing up the batter, singing, da, 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 because you have the directions, you have the instruction, you have the confidence that's going to come out right because you did the research. There's no more fear unless somebody is recording you. Okay. So get the information, that's all. And there's no sense of walking around in fear when there's knowledge at everyone's fingertips. How to not get triggered by your family. They hate that I don't vote, and I always gotta fuss a family member out. Cuss a family member. Tell them you voted and lie. Problem solved. Or go vote for yourself. Write your own name in there. Or just say I'm not registered to vote, and it's too late. You know. Or tell them I you know, give me $100 and I'll go vote. Make some money off of it. You want me to vote that bad? Everybody give me $20, I'll go vote. Then write your own name in there and come back with a pocket full of cash. Okay? There's ways to solve problems. But when you focus on how upset it makes you, you can't think. It blocks your thinking. You can't think of how to make money. You can't think of, oh, I can write my own name in, or you can't think of, oh, well, I didn't register, so it's too late. I can't anyway. You didn't think of, you know, any of those things because you're too busy reacting emotionally. I mean, let's just make this a funny example. People who were upset that people weren't voting, they didn't get upset. They went and got some dead people to vote, okay? They said, y'all ain't gonna vote? Fine, I'm gonna get the dead. They was thinking, but it didn't work. But still, at least they put the initiative in. They didn't think that through all the way. They could have did some nursing home patients or something. Come on. Some people in comas or something. I would have called up the nearest nursing home, give me all them people's names, social security number. Here you go, here's a little check. Shh. That way, when they look them up, they still alive. Duh. If you're gonna cheat, you gotta get somebody smart to cheat. That's why I said the best criminals get away because they're not emotional. They're strategic. Next time, y'all do that next time, okay? Go to the nursing homes. The thumbnail should be turning to a painting. The abstract painting. Approach life with a sense of humor. Not everything is so serious, and that's another way to control emotion. Were you supposed to cry? Laugh. Okay, find the humor in something sad. Find the joy in something sad. Like the Stevie Wonder song, he found the joy inside my tears. Find the happiness. That's another way to balance it or to control it. Look at the bright side. Yeah, it's still a messed up situation, but you're not focusing on it now. So you can, now you're freed up to think of how you're going to solve it. You said you're always laughing, you're sad. Yeah, that's me. Like when something bad happens, like, well, at least it didn't happen to you, or at least you still got 4 of your fingers. At least you got your hands still. You know, at least you're not homeless. At least you still look good, you know. So think of the good stuff. Oh my God, I had the worst day ever. I got fired and I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, at least you still look good. You can go get another job, baby. Look. Now you got experience. Now you can ask for more money. Oh, I have experience. See? Look at the bright side. Look at it as like if it wasn't supposed to happen, it wouldn't have happened. So now, where's the next step in the positive direction? Okay, because like I can't go rewind the time. So where am I going next? What are we doing next? What are we doing next? Don't sit there in the emotion, in the pain, in the worry, because you're going to attract more of that. Say, okay, what are we doing next after we solve this problem? This is how you deal with it, because you can't change what you've already done. The how do you deal with a loved one passing away? Here's my best thing. Understand the transition. Understand that everyone passes away. Understand that sometimes you have to just accept things that you don't want to accept. But think of the positive things about that person. All the fun that you had, all the positive things that they taught you, and in your memory, you can still see them and appreciate them. But if you're sitting there and thinking about how much you miss them and how much they're gone, they're going to seem even more gone. So try to remember being with them and all the good things about them, so that when you think of them, it's not a sinking feeling, but a happy feeling. The more you do that, the more it happens. Just kind of think of like a pet. Now, I don't like to compare people to animals, but think about a pet that you lost as a child. When you think about that lost pet, do you feel pain, anger, or do you remember the happy dog wagging its tail or the cat running around acting silly? You remember the good stuff, and you don't feel that pain. So try to do that with people as well. And talking them up to other people also helps, because it's like you can still talk about them to other people. You can still, brag on them or whatever. That is very helpful. I lost my sister to cancer, and it's affected me greatly. I lost passion for everything. Thank you, Janelle. Well, you know what? My best advice is pretend like your sister is living through you. And if someone, could live through you, would they be doing what you're doing? Or would they have a second chance? What would your sister be doing right now? What would she tell you to be doing? Get up, get your butt up and go do something, girl. Pretend like your sister is with you and go take her on a trip, do her makeup cute. Take her on a drive, go take her shopping, do whatever you got to do through you, okay? Don't worry about people thinking you crazy if it's making you sane. Thank you, L.E. Sprinkle Sprinkle. How do you get over regrets? I don't see a video on your channel about it. I said something and keep thinking if I hadn't said that it would be different. It really affected me. I keep replaying it. Thank you, Ellie. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, here's the best way to do that. Think about this. Okay, I'm just going to compare this to this because it makes a lot of sense. Think about, like, say you wore a dress. I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but let's say you wore a dress. It was a windy day, and you ran out of underwear. And the wind blew up, like on Marilyn Monroe, the sewer wind blew up or whatever, and there was paparazzi and photographers and people with phones everywhere, and they took your picture or videoed you and put you all over the internet. Oh my God, what is it that you regret? Not wearing underwear? Maybe you should have wore pants instead. But what did you take from that? You can't change it. It's all over the internet. So what did you take from it? Don't do that again, right? Never repeat, period. So take the lesson from it. You can't change it. All you can do is learn from it. It's a valuable lesson. Thank you, Kiwi Sprinkle Sprinkle. Thank you for teaching me how to focus on solutions and not the problems. Sprinkle Sprinkle. Thank you, girl. Sprinkle Sprinkle. I mean, never do it again. Just don't do it. Embrace that you did it. Own that you did it. Take full responsibility that you did it. And say, I only did that so that I know that I never do that again. Okay, I know what it feels like to do that. And I know that I shouldn't have done it. So guess what? I will never do that again. There's your lesson. So it probably hurts, but guess what? That's how you remember not to do it. You remember that pain. Like that's how people remember not to touch a hot stove. The pain. It's an indication of, it's a warning. Look, you don't stay in pain. You remember the pain when you're about to mess up. Oh, don't touch that stove. It's going to be hot. You don't keep your hand on the stove. Oh, you don't do that. You remember so you don't have to repeat. So I'm not going to touch that stove because the last time I touched it, it burned me and I truly regret it because now I have a scar. I also have a scar and the memory of the pain to not repeat. It hurt bad. I got a scar from it, but guess what? I ain't going to do it again. So just think like that. Your pain is your warning system. And there's no use when you're out and about. Do you just automatically start thinking of touching a stove? And do you feel the pain and remember the pain when you're out shopping? No, you're only remembering that pain when you're about to mess up again. And if you're walking around thinking about burning yourself on a stove when you're not near a stove at all, then you're doing that on purpose. Thank you, Halima. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Just wanted to say, hey, Sheila, do you like my picture? Yes, cute girl. Ooh, yes, cheekbones on fleek. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Beautiful. So you're not supposed to be walking around thinking about the pain. You're supposed to be walking around thinking about whatever you're in the present moment doing. You're living in the past. You keep reliving touching a hot stove. When you're walking around, you're supposed to be trying to focus on what you're doing. So live like that. But in truth, there is no right way or wrong way. There's no right way or wrong way, but there are effective ways. Because there's several ways to do a lot of things. But whichever one is effective for you, go do it. Some friends, I live with trauma, brains. It's sad living in a cage. Yeah. It's kind of like being trapped in a nightmare on purpose. And the only thing you have to do is change the nightmare. Focus on something else. Some people like to live in the nightmare because that's how they identify. They have nothing else. They like to live in trauma because that's how they identify their identity. They don't have anything else but that trauma. Instead of developing themselves, they stay stunted. And so they relive that trauma over and over because they choose not to grow from it or learn from it and move forward from it and see how they can build from that. So, you know. And I think it's a choice, and people don't know that they have a choice. That's why I do a lot of these videos, because I tell people, y'all got a choice. You have a choice. You have free will. Did you forget? On all those Nightmare on Elm Street movies, on all them Freddy Krueger movies, how do they always beat Freddy? You're not real. You have no power. This is my dream. Then Freddy start melting or turning little or something. So, it's not, you have a choice. But sometimes you don't know you have one. But I'll just let you know, you always have one. Always. Everything that comes into your mind, you have a choice to reject it or accept it. So even an insult, it does not get through. It's like, think about the masks. You can't go in the store without this mask. It's free will. You want to go in the store, put the mask on. You don't, stay out. That's what they're telling people, right? But it works in the opposite way. If you don't like what somebody said, then you don't have to accept it into your psyche. You turned around a couple of stores. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember I was trying to take the kids to this one place, and they were like putting that thermometer up to people's heads and like trying to take their temperature. And I said, oh no, I'm not going in there. But then I read you can take it on your wrist. So they went again the next time and they did the wrist one. But like I didn't know that I didn't have a choice. So I went and did the research, or someone told me, or I inquired at least, so that I know what to do. There's always ways around stuff. You escaped my personal hell last year. This year has been one of the greatest in my life. Yes. #mood. Thanks to you, I made a script of some emotional things. It really helped. Yes, that's a great idea, Wanda. Script out something and see how silly it is, or how great it could be if you don't react. What you could say instead, what you could do instead. See how it would play out. Shira was here. Are lots of people who started the same channels as you. What? Shira was here. I don't understand that, but thank you. Does that mean you like my channel, Linda? A lot of insecurities is from no women who is single falling in love with me. Okay, AI Matrix. A lot of my insecurities is from no women who is single falling in love with me. Well, you need the money, Matrix. Sprinkle, sprinkle. They'll fall in love quick, even if they're not single. Well, you don't have to be rich. Some people fall in love with talent. You have the talent. Some people got weaknesses for talent. So you can play. Can you play the guitar? Somebody, Infinite Goddess asked if you can play the guitar. AI Matrix. Are men more attracted to women that show no emotions initially? What do you think, Shira? Honestly, I think men expect women to be feminine, but they don't want to live with a woman who's over emotional because it's very stressful. You know what I mean? It's feminine to acknowledge your emotions, but it's also very unbalanced to overreact or always react on emotion rather than logic. I mean, I think that's what marriage between men and women are really for, to balance each other out with logic and emotion. Like one side of the brain, right and left side, would be like masculine and feminine. So why would a logical masculine man not find a little emotion attractive? Too much will drown out the logic. Just like too much logic will drown out, the feeling. So you have to balance it. Just be in control of it. You can just like you can not act emotional, you could act emotional and not really be feeling emotional. It's, fake smile with people you don't know. You don't feel this happy. You're just pretending. You're acting and faking emotion that you're happy to see this person who you don't know. That fake smile. Hi, how are you? It's nice to meet you. I've never smiled this hard in my life, but guess what? It's nice to meet you. The faker it is, the wider it is. Okay. Sure, I see so many other channels related to this way of thinking. The message is being spread out. Wonderful. Thank you, Maria. I'm glad people are spreading the message. AI Matrix said, I'm emotional male, so I think I want a hypersensitive woman sometime. What y'all gonna be doing? Crying together, watching Lifetime, Hallmark? Goodness gracious. Y'all gonna share a box of Kleenex, the Lifetime movie channel? Oh, that's so sweet. Oh. Sure, I appreciate you. How did you learn so much? Is it just how you always seen the world? No, it's not always how I've seen the world. I think when I first started to realize that I am in control of my life, and when I took full responsibility for all of my actions and thoughts, that's when everything starts clicking. Because you can't depend on other people to solve your problems, or you can't blame anyone because you've taken full responsibility. All you have are, okay, well, how do I solve this? All you have are the solutions. You don't have the blame game anymore. You don't have the oh, well, I overreacted emotionally. You don't have that excuse anymore because now you have a choice. So that's when it all clicked, when I understood that I had a choice and that I took full responsibility of having that choice. That's how basic it was. You got a choice. And at the same time, take full responsibility of every choice you made. Even if the other person took advantage of you for making that decision, you still made that decision first. People will blame a partner for doing terrible things, but you are the one that stayed or pursued that person or allowed that person to treat you that way. Because at any given time, you can say, I'm out of here. or no, you not, or I don't think you know who I am. You know, usually there's red flags, and those red flags could have been when you decided to no longer deal with those type of people. So, but I love him, but I try to see the good in people. Da 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 da. Well, when you're seeing the good, don't ignore the bad. But you can focus on the good, but don't ignore the bad. It's like a pain. I keep having this sharp pain, but I feel good. Okay, you're gonna be crippled one day. Okay. Um, that could be gangrene. That could be tetanus. Something. Blood poisoning. I don't know. You could be dying. You don't need a girlfriend. You need therapy. Y'all talking to AI Matrix? How long has she been on? I don't know, like an hour and 11 minutes. Ooh, 111. Shira, what to do with guys who think because they spend money on you and give you money that they want something in return? Okay, give them something in return called a thank you. Thank you. Gratitude, baby. Send them a thank you card. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Get your nice pen and paper and good handwriting, your good penmanship. And get old fashioned, get you a little stamp. I sent you something in the mail. Oh, really? Dear such and such, I hope this letter finds you in good health. Make it all like old school. The weather's nice here. How is it there? I just wanted to thank you for the other day when you so generously increased my prosperity to the next level. I will never forget this. Understand that you have sown a special place in my heart. Girl, write it all out. Thank you. I hope there's much more where that came from. See you soon. Bring your wallet. You're super emotional. You don't know how a man not emotional could work, but that's clearly what's in my future. You're clingy and you depend on women to heal you. AI Matrix. Oh, that's so sweet. Maybe you just need to be adopted. Some adoption papers. Men like that prefer older women. If you could find you a rich old woman to kind of like take you under her wing and quote unquote adopt you, maybe you can get in the wheel. Examples should how to use Google search tutorial, right? Groundhog Day is all those movies and shows that a person repeating the same day till they learn. That's true. Gotta learn. This video is a blend of logical relationship and spiritual advice. I'm here for all. Thank you, Appetite for Chic. So I love you, Shira. I'm going to rewatch. Oh, thank you. Okay, so here's another thing. Triggers. When someone sends you flowers, what does that trigger? It triggers emotion. Oh, I'm so happy you sent me flowers. I feel so loved. Thank you. Positive, right? Positive emotions. If someone gives you bad news or sends you bad news, what does that trigger? Negative emotions, right? You do the same thing to other people. If you want to help people not feel so negative or emotional or unbalanced, some people that care about you will try to help you balance. That's how you know they understand you or they're paying attention to you, because, oh, I'm having a bad day, and look, somebody sends you flowers. Someone knows that you have you're insecure. What do? Send you a compliment. They know you feel bad, and, oh, I love your shoes today. They might not say, oh, you're the most beautiful woman in the world, but they're going to boost your self-esteem up a little bit because they see you're kind of sad. You ever walk around the store and you just see some lady looking like, woe is me, and you just, oh my gosh, I love your boots. And all of a sudden she comes back to life. Thank you so much. Yeah. And then she doesn't walk around looking like this afterwards. She's like, my boots cute. Okay, so if you are able to, if you see that in someone, that's how you know it's a choice, when you can change it instantaneously. You know it's a choice, and it's not something that is because you just changed it, and after you walked away, if they did not go right back to feeling humdrum, then they chose not to. They chose to embrace that positive compliment, and now that's the frequency they're on. So that's how you know it's a choice. Sometimes people have to remind you that you do have a choice, and to point out the positive things in your life, because you can't see them. And that's why a lot of people do the opposite sometimes, to take away your positive frequency. They'll do the opposite and take away, the understanding that you have a choice. And that's why you have to say, nope, I have a choice, and I choose not to think that way. I think most people are, a lot of people are different, and they're on different paths and different frequencies and different levels of consciousness, and this and that. That's what makes a harmony. That's what makes a harmony. When the harmony is off, somebody has to change their pitch or their whatever, right? So not everybody is supposed to be in unison or the same. It's supposed to be different levels to this. But when one is off and another person can hear that they're off, they'll say, they'll get them back by saying, oh, and they'll like, oh, and then you'll go back to your note, oh, and y'all be harmonized again. But when they hear something off pitch, they have to go fix it, or otherwise it messes up everything. So one person in your family could be off pitch. And if you want your family to stay in harmony, you got to get them back on key, on pitch. So you have to lead by example, or you have to remind them of their pitch. You have to remind them of who they are. You have to remind them of the good things and how they're supposed to be, so that they can get back on there. Remind them of themselves, of who they are when they're at their best. Don't focus on their worst, focus on their best. Like if you have a teenager or a child who's acting bad, Remind them of the day that they were the best they've ever been. Oh my goodness, you remember that time when you read that whole book in one day? You were so smart. Oh my gosh, you're a genius. When they're having trouble with their homework or don't want to do their schoolwork, remind them that they're a genius. When they're acting crazy and talking smart to you, remind them of that day that they gave you that flower and they were so sweet and loving. They'll be like this. Then they might bring you a flower from the grocery store if they're older. I bought you another flower, Mommy. So instead of, making their frequency worse, remind them of when their frequency was on pitch. Remember who you are. Simba, remember who you are. That's what Rafiki did on The Lion King. He did not accept Simba as being what he was. He went and showed him who he was, or who he could be, or who he used to be, and who his daddy was. So he just got him back on frequency. A lot of women ask me, like on my other channel, how do you find the motivation to get up and do makeup and hair every day? I look at my old picture and then look at the mirror and be like, this is how. You walking around looking like before. I want to look like after. Thank you, OJ. Sprinkle, sprinkle. The reason you see MJ everywhere because Trump was one of the few that always defended him. Decode Thriller. Yeah, sprinkle, sprinkle. You were right. Thank you, OJ. He is everywhere, and yet Trump did defend him. So I don't want to look like the before. I want to look like the after, baby. If you saw a picture of the before and after, who do you want to be? So that's why, remember the part where you were the after, and then you'll want to be that again. Mm-hmm. Keep reminders. Like if you don't have anybody to encourage you, encourage yourself. Keep reminders up of who you are, because sometimes you'll forget. Because so many people are telling you who you are that you forgot who you really were. So if somebody says, "Oh, you're lazy," have a picture up here of you like hiking on a mountain or riding a bike or something stupid. You're not lazy. Have a picture of when you organized your whole closet. That ain't lazy. Remind yourself who you are. Oh, you're evil. Remind yourself of all the good you do. Have a picture of you like doing some charity work or giving your best outfit to your friend or something. Don't let people tell you who you are. You only know that. You know who you are. Because if they had to paint who you are, it would be someone you don't want to be. And then if you keep accepting those things, that's who you'll become, or who you'll think you are. You're in control of who you are, not other people. And if you don't keep reminding yourself, you'll slip away. And that's what happens to a lot of people. They'll end up with someone and lose themselves. Okay? They'll totally lose themselves. That's why moms always tell their kids, "Oh, yeah, I don't remember. I used to be all of this and all of that. Y'all need to see my old pictures." Mm-hmm. So, I think a Pinterest board or a photo album of who you really are, or just maybe some quotes or something, whatever you choose to do to remind yourself who you are, you need to keep that handy if you have issues with other people, constantly downing you or something like that. Mm-hmm. You got you a shrine of yourself? Me too, girl. I got me a shrine. Well, it's not really a shrine. Like, I put the stuff that I like and I know I deserve, like, with maybe like something that represents me. Like, it's like an altar to yourself, kind of like, okay, I got roses, I got nice perfume, I got lipstick, I got a little cute fine china, I got this, the stuff I like. That reminds me that I don't settle for less. You're not gonna come and give me nothing that's not gonna match and look good on this altar, because that means it's not me. you know and it's the same way how you keep up your appearance and how you keep your house. When someone comes over or when someone looks at you and they want to buy you a gift or contribute something to you or tell you something, they're going to look at you and they're going to be like, okay, well, she likes this type of thing, so I'm not going to bring her something that's not like that because she's not going to be able to use it. So how you remind yourself of who you are and what your standards are should reflect in many parts of your life. That way you don't have to say anything. People will just see you and be like, she doesn't look like she likes Applebee's. Okay. They won't even bother. And be like, nope, don't even try it. So. Do not take anything that doesn't meet your standards, because you wouldn't feed a dog or a cat. You wouldn't feed a dog cat food, and you wouldn't feed a cat dog food. True. So that's why we shouldn't walk around feeling sorry for ourselves or pitying ourselves, because we are in full total control of all those things. And sometimes we forget that we are and that we have a choice. So if that's you, get up out of it. Thank you for reminding us of what we deserve. Right. Love is a divine frequency that's work as a harmonic component. Yeah. Self-love too, baby. This is a creation. How can we reverse our emotional potty moments to receive what's coming on the 21st? Don't repeat them. You can't reverse anything. You can just stop doing it. Okay. You can just stop doing it and hope for beneficial change. Okay. You can't reverse a cigarette. You can't unsmoke a cigarette, but you cannot smoke another cigarette. Okay. There you go. You could start the process of quitting, but you can't unsmoke a cigarette. Okay. So that's another thing. Stop focusing on stuff that you can't do. There's stuff that you could do instead. There's a different solution. You can't undo something that you already did. Okay. I mean, this is how I teach my kids. I give the most extreme, bizarre example so that it sticks. And this might be a little bit gross to y'all, but this is what's going to make it stick, because some people just can't, they don't hear you when you're talking nice. So here I go. Proper ladies, close your ears. Squeamish people, close your ears. Do you regret going number 2? How can you reverse your number 2? Imagine the reversal of a number 2. There you go. Imagine a reversal of diarrhea. Imagine a reversal of constipation. Okay, there you go. Stop asking about it. Wipe, flush, and get off the pot. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Don't eat that cheese again. I wish I had the new PS5 one. I can't stop crying. Okay, well, go do something about it. Mommy won't buy me the new PS5. Well, ask daddy, baby. Sugar daddy. There's always a solution. I think Birkin bags are ugly. Yeah, well, that's why you don't want to buy one. They have so many styles of purses. I don't think I would ever buy a Birkin bag. Somebody have to gift me that, because I would never spend my money on that. But I'll take it as a gift. You said, Pete, please be my sugar moms. Well, I'm going to have to get a sugar daddy if I'm going to be your sugar mama. But y'all know I'm finna come out my pocket. No, I don't want to be the middleman, so you're going to have to find your own. Some men are afraid of dogs. Is that a turnoff? That's a hilarious thing. Like, if they were freakishly afraid, I would laugh. I would laugh. I'm sorry, just people with weird fears freak me out. It's because they're not in control of themselves. And that scares me more. When you fear something so much, that's what scares me. You know? So what if I'm getting attacked by a dog, or if there's a dog coming my way, or you ain't gonna save me because you scared? You in the corner shivering, bite your nail? No. Sorry, I can't do someone who's afraid of something that much, that they're frozen in fear. I mean, if you're a little scared, that's understandable, but like, you can get over it real quick and jump into action, that's fine. But if you sitting over there shivering and stuff, I can't. You scared of spiders? The video of the man who left his little girl while he jumped out on the car. Yeah, like people that let fear overtake them out of, over logic. It's, I don't know, that's an imbalance. Sorry. What does it mean when he tells you that he's real? He has a real short, what does it mean when he tells you that you are real short fuse with him? You have a real short fuse with him? That means it means you overreact too quickly, or you snap at him too much. Or you got an attitude and always snapping. Or you get mad too easily. I'd control that too. A lot of people get mad, but they don't show it. How are you so calm? I watch other people who are not calm, and I see how out of control and off balance they are, and I don't want to be that. I have more peace in my life, more balance and prosperity when I'm calm because I can think and strategize. My mom told me, don't be so cold. Well, then you can act, baby. You can always act. You remember the big smile? You can smile and be cussing somebody out in your head. It doesn't matter. You could be cold in your head and warm on your face. Yin yang. The only thing I'm afraid of is being broke. I'm not afraid of being broke because once you have this knowledge, you can never be broke. So you should no longer fear. How to be feminine when you're working in a masculine career. Wear lipstick. Get you some Level Up cosmetics and some nice perfume. Go in there with some red lips and some lashes, baby. Okay. levelupcosmetics.us. I feel very unbalanced. Get balanced. What does it take to balance you? I don't know all of those moon Mars things. I just know I'm a Pisces. So, no one cares about your emotions. They're a way to either balance or unbalance. They're also a way to control other people and also a way to control self, self-control. You saw heaven on DMT and set fire to it. Am I in trouble? I don't think so. People crazy, but that's okay. If that's what you saw, that's what you did, that's what you wanted to do, wonderful. But y'all remember that old song from the 80s? We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. There you go. You didn't start that fire. Stop taking credit. It was always on fire. You just realized that it was. And in order to realize that it was on fire, you had to be the catalyst of it because you can only see from your perspective. Do emotions have any use? Yes. An indicator, not an indicator of something, it's a warning, or it's also a temporary thing, and it also is an indicator of your pleasure or your pain. That's all it is for. Like if you get around somebody and your emotions start to feel angry, sad, mad, what is that person doing to trigger that? You don't like what they're saying, you don't like what they're doing, you don't like how they're looking at you. So it's an indicator, it's a sixth sense almost of your reaction to that situation or that person. It's yourself interacting with what's going on. So it's kind of like this. It's kind of like you let's say you go in a room full of people and they're talking behind your back. And you start to feel insecure, upset, and angry and sad, right? Now, you have a choice to take that as an indication to get up and leave, or to react in a crazy outburst and get in trouble, or make a fool of yourself, or do something you regret. You have a choice. Get up and get out, because that's your warning that you're not around people that are in your best interest, or, react and prove them right. React or tell them whatever you need to say and have them talk about you even more after you are embarrassed, and then leave. So what are you going to do? It's an indicator of that you're not in an environment that is beneficial to you. So get up and get out. Okay. Or sit there and strategically think of a way to reverse that. So if I was in a room full of people that were talking trash about me and I'm feeling some type of way, I'm not going to let that feeling overwhelm my logic on how to counteract it and maybe even get revenge. Like, okay. So like I'm in high school and I have to get up and read my presentation, and I know everybody is talking trash about me. My presentation will be on trash talk. I'll say, okay, so my paper's on jealousy. Jealousy and envy. Why people envy you and why people are jealous of you. Well, one, they can't reach your level. Two, they don't have the discipline. And three, read them literally. Get your A, go sit down. And now you've reversed all of that energy. You Black Panther suited. You Black Panther suited them. You Black Panther suited them. You took all of that anger and that negativity that they were making you feel, and you wrote it on paper and reversed it and pushed it all back right up into them. And now you feel good and they feel bad. Okay, so that's how you handle stuff. You don't have to take that. Black Panther suit. Okay. And some people, they'll learn the lesson and they won't repeat it because they don't like how that feels. What's my favorite drug? Knowledge. Okay. What demons do I worship? I don't worship anything, but okay. Which ones do you worship? Y'all are asking some silly questions. Not the ones you worship, obviously. You said you love Baal and Lord Moloch. That's my ex-husband. Ashura was married to Baal. That's my ex. Well, y'all are silly. To worship anything or anyone other than higher self is to be inferior. That's true. Do I like carbonca? I had it one time. Like right now I'm drinking like water with apple cider vinegar and like some lemon juice. Kind of very similar to me. God is higher than your higher self. So my higher self has a higher self then. Right? I was just confused. You don't start with me. He said, your higher self has a God, Satan. Okay, well, who's Satan's higher self? Is it me? Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's why no one can argue with me. They'll just lose. I use logic, strategy, and psychology. You can't win. You said sweet Satan. We all come from God and are God. Anything fear-based is untrue. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Everybody comes from one source. Killers come from a womb. Healers come from a womb. Okay. I'm from the source that killed the original source. Well, you can't kill the original source because you got their DNA. So they just being reborn through you. All you doing is birthing the original source. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, that's like a weed saying, I killed the original weed. You still the weed. That keep creating more weeds that look the exact same as the source because y'all got the same molecular structure and chemical makeup because you are the source. Fool. The source destroyed. A source destroyer probe can create its own unique source. Probes or probes? A source destroyer. Well, where did that destroyer come from? Who created the destroyer? The destroyer is the source. The yin and the yang is still one. Okay. The yin and the yang is still one. Polarity. That's correct. He needs to stop. Those in the realm of creating source exist outside of the concept of creation. But the concept itself is a source because a thought is a frequency and which yeah. So there's the source again. Sorry. You can't get away from it. You didn't win. The thought created the concept, so the thought would have been from the original source. So still, we have a multiverse. It's quantum. I need to order phase 2. Okay, appetite for sheep. Go ahead. Chicken and egg vibes or now? Homunculus. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Chicken and egg. Dinosaur. Period. There you go. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Why is there something instead of nothing? Because fractals. When are you going to ship to the UK? I stopped shipping to the UK because I'm not Amazon, and people are very impatient, and there's crazy laws on shipping liquids overseas. So I only ship to the US now. I'm so sorry. I'm listening to you while I start science class this morning. You're like my other school. Thank you, Rose Prosper. Why are there fractals? Because there was a frequency of sound. Because they move in between the spaces that are not spaces. They're just unseen. It's called the black. It's called the black light. You can't see it. It's called dark energy and dark matter. But it's there. Mm-hmm. Ashira, have you ever done shrooms? No. Can you do more videos on alchemy? Sure. My birthday is on full moon. Happy early birthday. Uh-oh. I got a text. I used to have so much sympathy, and it took a toll on my health. Yeah. Yeah, being overly concerned, emotionally over concerned about other people is not your concern unless it's someone that you know, are very close to you, like a child or something. Do you know? Does traveling during a full moon have any effects? Well, full moon affects people's body, like water in your body, in your brain. And I guess it would depend on what you were near. Are you were near a vortex? Are you on a ley line? Are you near a 5G pole? Everything affects you. Have you heard the new planet heading your way? No. Are there beings on the moon, sun, planet? I'm sure there are. Beings aren't always in a form that we're going to see, or always in the dimension where we are. So it's like, are there ghosts around you? I don't know. They could be, but in a different dimension. Am I against psychedelics? I'm not against anything. I just don't do them. What are some ways to detach from the emotion when living with a person who daily bullies and controls tactics? So if you're dealing with a bully or someone that daily controls you, figure out their triggers and daily control them. It's a game. Okay, so they can stay bullying you, but your responses are, if they're triggering, can actually control their bullying. You know what I mean? So, for example, if someone is bullying you every day, it's like, oh, ask them questions like, were you bullied as a child? Why? I don't know. They say usually you repeat what was done to you. So I'm just wondering. Well, you need to be here and do this right now, or da 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 da. You need to do this. Is really? Was your parents strict? Did you get to go outside and play? Was Joe Jackson your father? What do you mean? I'm just saying. Did you learn that from a parent? Start analyzing people, girl. Then they'll have to look at themselves in the mirror and wonder, why are you asking these questions? And then they'll be like, uh-oh, it's because I'm bullying and controlling. And so they think that was done to me. And I don't like to look weak or like a victim. So I must stop bullying because it's showing my weakness. So you need to trigger them psychologically. Okay, so what do you plan on doing once the frequency shift comes in? There's nothing I really plan on doing. I'm just, gonna be happy. I plan on embracing it. Whatever comes next, comes next. At what age did you become in control of your emotions? I think it was when I was pregnant. When I was pregnant, and this is the funny thing, you're supposed to be out of control. But I took the control when I was pregnant because that's when they're the most powerful. And if you can control a pregnancy set of emotions, you could master anything. Okay. So when they were the highest, that's when I started to control them. And that's why it's so easy now, because that's how I had to start. Now it's like piece of cake. How can people with low frequency have swollen feet? They got high blood pressure. Shoot, they off the salt. Okay, what is get you some salt-free seasoning? What is prophesized for December 21st? A major upgrade in mental and spiritual gifts, and a major downgrade for those in low frequencies. The babies don't know, but those stones aren't going to fully protect you unless your entire body and house is covered by them. Just be on the highest frequency you can be on. That's the best advice I can give you. Be around people you love who don't make you mad. Be in a good mood, be happy, smile, be grateful for all the stuff that you have, all the people in your life. Read, study, just be at peace. And I think that, that's one of the highest frequencies where when you feel loved around people that you love, happy, peaceful, don't have, a bunch of bad stuff in your system, you're good. How do you stop feeling sorry for people? I want to help low frequency people suffering, but feel like I can't do anything. You can't feel sorry for people because they have to get those lessons in order to grow. It's like feeling sorry for a kindergartner and giving them a college degree. You can't do it. They have to get it. You can help them. You can be like 1 + 1 is 2, but that's about it. You have to let them figure it out. You can guide them, like, you can use a calculator, right? They're hiring over there, that's a choice, right? You can give them little tips and clues, but you can't do the work for them. And usually low frequency people chose to be low frequency. So if you try to help them, you're going against their free will. Okay? So you have to let them be until they want to change. How to not care what others think. I don't care, or this is how I do it. I don't care what others think because they don't live my life. So they don't have to walk in my shoes. And so what they think does not apply to me. How to stop needing validation for everything I do. Give it to yourself. Like little kids. Give it to yourself. Then you won't need it from anybody else. Know thyself. If you don't know thyself, you need to hear who you are from other people, and that's not who you are, because they don't know who you are because you don't know who you are. So know thyself. Give yourself validation. Do I meditate? Not very often. I'm always in meditative state. When I'm just sitting there, I'm always off in la la land. Whenever happens to people, it's their own fault. That's right. Living in NYC, you learn that nobody cares. Like, I was watching some videos, like, because there's a lot of people in like China, and you'll see just people start walking and getting trampled. There's so many people in the street, and no one cares. They just keep walking over them. They don't care. And so it takes a person to care about themselves and announce that and stand in that for other people to even notice you. That's how it can be if you don't care, right? Like, how some people fall out of the eye of mainstream or media and people forget about them? Like, it could be like a celebrity and you just forget they exist because they're not all up in the media. Well, and then you have those celebrities that are always doing crazy stuff to stay in the media, to keep their value up. They haven't put out nothing in years, but they all over social media making statements and all up in the media because they're trying to stay relevant. And they understand this out of sight, out of mind, so self-validation. If no one's giving it to them, they have to give it to themselves. Got to give it to yourself. All right, y'all. What if someone uses negative slurs against you? How do you respond to that? The same way, you just reverse psychology. You know, like, stop seeing it as a problem. See it as an opportunity. Okay. Like, I can't wait to get trolled. I really can't, because that means I'll be sharper with my response. Can't wait. Don't wait. Well, I can't wait till they give me a negative slur so I can hit them right back with a better one. Okay. Here's what I would do. I would ask them to repeat it. I'm so sorry, I didn't hear you. Could you please repeat that? And then put them on, have your phone recording. I'll have something to post on Instagram. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. I was wondering what I was going to post today. Mind if I tag you? Okay. That's what. Unbothered. So I don't know. Like, nothing phases me. It's like I don't care enough. I could care less. What if your close friends are now running successful channels, social media in the past years, but you were afraid to do it? I regret it. Good example of, why you shouldn't fear things. The next opportunity that presents itself, I bet you'll jump right on it. Here's my thing about fear. It's like YouTube and stuff. Who cares? Everybody's afraid of something until they do it. Okay? Everybody's afraid of something until they just go and do it. After that, it's gone. It's no more. So if you had just done it, you know, that would have been that. But when you allow fear to control you, you're being controlled. You can't regret something that you chose. Like, that was your decision. That was your choice. So the path that you're on now is where you're supposed to be. So start one now. Go start a YouTube channel and keep going. It's not like they said nobody can start a YouTube channel ever again. Get your successful friends to tell people to subscribe to you. Bam, there you go. Okay, what you waiting on? Maybe you got several people that put in the work, and now all you got to do is tell them to share your link. Bam. I don't focus on regrets. I focus on solutions. And there is no fear. Fear is an illusion, but what that dude Will Smith saying, danger is real. Remember that movie? He said, fear is an illusion, but danger is real. Is it dangerous to be on YouTube? Okay. Have you ever practiced or witnessed the effects of the occult law in reversal? The occult law, the hidden law, the law of which laws? Because there's universal law, the law of rhythm, the law of polarity, the law of gender, the law of correspondence. I mean, them laws, they all have opposition. Okay. How to forever be unbothered? Forever be unbothered. Don't allow others to control you or trigger you. How do you stop fearing about losing your parents? Understand that it's going to happen anyway. Do you fear having to go to the bathroom? You know you're going to have to pee eventually. You sit up there scared and nervous that you got to pee. Everybody's going to die, baby. You can't stop it. So stop fearing what you can't control. It's like they're going to die. Okay? How soon they die is a different story. So people going to die, period. Okay? Just accept it and don't worry about it. Focus on the living. Focus on life. Focus on while they're here. Because after they die, you can focus on their death. You focusing on their death and their life. You wasted your time. You going backwards. What is the best emotions in your opinion? The most beneficial ones? The best emotion I think is, well, you're not gonna believe this, but it is fear. Because it catapults you to the next level quickly. Like you got to make a choice, and I made your choice. So fear, I believe, is the best emotion because it's like the ultimate choice. It's like a catapult. Happiness and joy and, all those nice things. That's pleasure. Okay. Those are nice. And they're beneficial, but fear is most beneficial because it could get you somewhere quickly. It can wake you up quickly. You're always happy and, whatever. You can't wake up. You're blinded. You can't see nothing. You get mad, that's when you are fearful. That's when you start researching. Ooh, I gotta take these vaccines. What? You're in fear. Your natural responses kick in to act, to learn, to figure out how to alleviate the fear, how to solve the issue. So you grow. How to attract abundance with business sales. Attract abundance, prosperity. How to attract prosperity, because you could get an abundance of nothing. Okay. Prosperity is the word you should be using. You could get an abundance of trash. You could get an abundance of 0 leads. You could get an abundance of bad leads. Prosperity is what you want to attract. So thank you, Candace Sprinkle. I just want to say thank you for sharing what you know with us. I have learned so much gratitude and for you. Thank you, Sprinkle. So when you manifest, remember old vinyl records and albums? Thank you, Candace. When they recorded vinyl, they played, the sound was played and then imprinted into the wax. It was like a sound frequency imprinted into the wax, right? And then when you take the record, which is carbon, and you take the diamond, which is carbon needle, and play the record back, it sends you back the music and the sound. Okay. So in order to receive what you're trying to imprint upon your reality, you must imprint it first, which means you must know the formula for it. You must put out that frequency. So to put out a frequency of prosperity for your business, ask yourself this: what type of business is it? Why will people want to give you money? Why will people want to use your business? What's going to attract them to your business? So, for example, does your business look like it benefits people? Is your business going to bring you prosperity because people are going to spend with you? How are you going to get people to spend with you? That's what you need to put out: people spending with you, why they're spending with you. So if you don't like to work hard, people spend with me because they like me, period. Okay, put that out. Don't say people spend with me because I'm a hard worker and I put in a lot of work and my product is good and it's perfect, because you'll be sitting there doing all this work in order to receive this. But if you say people just, they like me, so they just support my business, period. Less work. So what you're willing to do, the formula that you're willing to implement to get this prosperity, is what you need to put out. You need to put out the formula. I do A, B, and C to get paid, period. Not, I want to attract abundance to my business. Abundance of what? Questions with no dollars behind them? No. I want to attract people that spend with me because they like me. That's pretty easy, because you can sell anything. They might even like the product. They just want to spend with you because they want to. So find the easiest route and the formula that you're willing to do when you get up every day, because you know yourself, and that's how you get prosperity. You know yourself. You know you're not going to get up in the crack of dawn and do all this work. So find the way that best fits your frequency. That's why it's important to know thyself. People are manifesting based on other people's personalities or other people's way of living. I know I'm lazy. I'm not going to do all of that. So this is how I'm going to manifest. So personalize your manifestations. Use the words carefully and know thyself. Don't use the blueprint that someone else created. Create your own. Be the creator, or at least the source of your own manifestation. Thank you, Gemini Love. Sprinkle, sprinkle. 777. Hey. How much should I ask for? Oh, I don't know how much it costs. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Or double. And also, sometimes we got to take a look in the mirror. If you're having problems with insecurity, emotions, and stuff like that, it's because maybe you have not worked on yourself enough. Maybe you haven't worked on yourself enough. So perhaps it's time to put in some work on yourself. And I'm just going to use this as an example. I'm not talking to the person that asked about their business, but I'm just going to use it because it was a good example. Let's say you have a business and you're not attracting clients. Let's say you sell a product. They can go get that product anywhere, probably. It's you that they're not attracted to. And I'm not talking about looks. Well, that could be part of it, but sometimes it's you that they're not attracted to. It's your energy, it's your frequency, it's your presentation, it's how you take care of yourself, it's how you talk, walk. Yeah, it's your energy. So sometimes it's you. When people spend money, they're not buying the product. Y'all know this. Because you can buy it, you can go to Walmart and get a product. You can go to Amazon and get a product. they're not spending on the item. They're spending on your energy. They want that energy that you possess. They want to emulate it. They want to support it because they like it. It's totally different than just going on Amazon and clicking a button. So be an energy that people are attracted to, and your business will prosper. Even if you don't show your face, put a reflection of that energy into your advertisement, into your product placement, into your photography, whatever, into your service. And you'll see a change. You're welcome. You manifest at least resistance, or when you're not trying to manifest it, should be effortless. Oh, you manifest at least resistance, or when not trying to manifest it, it should be effortless. Yeah, that's true. Right, I wanted your level up magnetic lashes over others. Yeah, it's trying because I'll be batting them lashes and saying sprinkle, sprinkle with it. I don't have lashes on today, but thank you, sprinkle, sprinkle. Right. So we need to improve ourselves. We're always supposed to be changing and improving for the better, not staying the same or stagnant. We're not supposed to do the least and want the most, unless that's the plan, unless that's the strategy. You know what I'm saying? But like if somebody had a crappy product and charged you $200 for it, and they didn't even try to make it look cute, with some fancy packaging or something, that's unrealistic. Okay. But it could be done if they packaged it a certain way, gave it a certain name, and put it in the hands of a celebrity. They sure could pull it off. But that's the strategy behind it. So you have to know the formula. That's the alchemy of it. If you can gain without you're not in the right mindset. But yes. That's branding. Exactly. See? But it's the same cheap product on the dollar store shelf. How you doing? Y'all, I went to Etsy one time and I was scrolling and I saw this lady had an Etsy store and all her stuff was from the Dollar Tree. And she was charging $35 for, let's see if I have one. Y'all, she was charging $35 for this on Etsy. Y'all know this from the Dollar Tree, right? This was sitting up on Etsy for $35. And then I saw some other Dollar Tree stuff, so I know it was from the Dollar Tree. So they got that at the Dollar Tree. But if let's say they sent some of these items that they bought from the Dollar Tree to like some major, Instagrammer or YouTuber, and like that. Hi, I'm gonna do a haul for you guys today. All the links are below. Yes, I'll do a haul for you guys today. So I got this pin from this really cute little Etsy shop. And I just love this pin. It's so beautiful. It's a rose gold. Look how sparkly it is. And yes, it's so good. It writes so well. I think I saw, this pin in this really expensive gift shop in Paris one time. And I was like looking for that pin ever since, and I could never find it. And then I click on Etsy and there it is. Oh my gosh. I got this on Amazon for $2. Okay. but they're going to sell it for $30, $20, $10 on their shop. And somebody's going to buy it because they're going to be super excited because this YouTuber that they look up to likes the product, has it, they want it. They're going to go click and spend triple double on the product. That it's not that expensive. It's not because, they don't know any better. It's because they like the YouTuber and they like the feeling that they got from having the same thing from the same store as that person. So that's all it is. It's just mental. It's just mental. And once you're aware of that, you know how to prosper. Selling water to a cactus, yes. Cactus, I know you don't need a lot of water, but it's nice. It's a luxury. Only rich cactuses can afford water. How do you stop emotion when you hear a trigger of something that traumatized you and tortured you? I have misophonia and I hear certain sounds, I break down. Like, okay, what sounds trigger you? I'm going to give you some homework. What sound is it? A gun click? What is it? Like some of those Vietnam veterans, when they hear helicopters, they get triggered and stuff. Like that type of stuff. Coughing and chewing and vomit sounds. All right. I actually have a video that might help you. It's an ASMR video of a public bathroom with sound bite samples. Girl, listen to that all the time until it's neutral, until it no longer triggers you. Okay. Or you can go on like one of those sound websites where they just have like recorded sounds of those type of sounds and just make a little video and listen to it every day until it no longer affects you. Okay. It's kind of like a vaccine, literally, for your trigger. Feed yourself a little bit at a time until it no longer triggers you. Do y'all remember my public bathroom ASMR video? It's painful though. I hear the sound constantly every day. Well, then chew some gum, baby. Get you some gum and start chewing. Instead of now this can get a little bit mental, but think of the sound as something else. Okay. Imagine the sound as something else. Like if you hear something chewing, what else do chewing sound like? Okay. Use your imagination. Replace, because you know how on movies and they do like the sound recording, sometimes when they break bones, they're snapping celery. And you know what I mean? Mhm. I try to imagine it as pipe noise, but it's the more coughing from someone else. Okay. Think about someone fake coughing to stop from laughing. It has a different mental effect than just the coughing. Instead of you hearing someone gag, think of someone doing something else. And you'll be laughing. Y'all remember that part on Harry Potter where they had to face, their worst fear and then turn it into something funny? And it came out of this little trunk or this little closet. And the spider came out, and they did their little wand, and all of a sudden there were some roller skates on the spider, and it started slipping around and it fell, and they started laughing. That's what you have to do. You have to transmute that into something funny or pleasurable. Right. Seeing people with no clothes on can be funny. Or if you hear coughing, vomiting, and chewing sounds, imagine that's your worst enemy being videoed and caught looking crazy, and you'll be laughing. Like the coworker that gets on your nerve, that's them that just got exposed and went viral. Okay. Laugh, make it funny. You guess so. I also have built up hatred for the person making the vomiting and coughing sounds. Girl, make a remix. Y'all know how they have those YouTube videos where they make remixes of like Entanglement? Y'all remember that, Jada? Make a remix of vomiting and coughing. Like, put some music behind it, girl. Tell him he made a hit record or they made a hit record. It's the vomit remix. Put some bars on it. That's your beat. Sell those vomit beats. That's the new trend. You know how they have trap? It's gonna be crap. There you go. Make a new trend, girl. A whole new genre. You could be a pioneer. What are you doing? Record them and upload them and sell the sound bites. People are always looking for those when they make movies and videos. I told you I figure out how to make money off of it. You don't believe me? I just did. People go viral with the idiots in this world. I'm serious. And put it on TikTok and get watch. I've been leveling up, but I'm sad because I'm in New York and I feel like my level up is slow. Do you remember that movie, The Devil Wears Prada? And how she was in New York and she had to hurry up and make a change in order to keep her job. So it's the fear of losing her job or the fear of, failing that made her level up quick. Maybe you need some good old healthy fear to put you to the next level quick. Right? All right. Well, I'm getting ready to go. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all hit that thumbs up for y'all leave. That would be very helpful. Thank y'all, everybody who donated. You said you prayed for the Lord to free James from this wicked witch. I'm not a wicked witch. He don't want to free himself from me. Shoot. Right, James? Someone prayed that to the Lord to free you from this wicked witch, James.
That was me praying.
Huh?
I was praying.
That was friend. That was who?
I was praying.
That was you?
Yep.
That's not you. Because they just texted.
Just texted.
I guess he's unbothered. They said the door sounded witchy. I wasn't. Fear of being in. You fear being in the hood all your life. You better start go looking at places outside. Mm-hmm. How to remove a deep-rooted poverty mindset. Hang around people that's not broke and get their advice. See what they're doing. See how they think. And see where your thinking differs from theirs. Is it cultural, environmental? I'm eating a mint. Mm-hmm. Someone says you have to cut off the ghetto mentality. Uh-huh. Thank you, Halima. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Opinion on 50 Cent. Sprinkle, sprinkle. What about? Opinion on what? His music? His Instagram posts? I don't know. Chill, can you tell someone if why do I attract emotional men? They tend to get obsessed. Maybe you're too nice. I was getting ready to go and y'all pulled me back in. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Y'all hit that thumbs up button. I gotta go. Bye. Oh, you two put an